Hello beautiful people, my name is Bree and welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about the 5 different habits that you could also implement into your lifestyle little by little to make sure that you reach your physique goals, but you also stay happy and healthy and you maintain a healthy physique throughout the rest of your life, with me or without me, ideally with me as your coach. So without further ado, habit number 1 would be to prioritize strength and or resistance training. They both kind of mean the same thing. I'm sure you've heard of both of them. Now, by continuously exercising and engaging in strength training specifically, not Zumba, not walking or anything else, but lifting some heavy stuff and putting it down, you make sure that you not only maintain, but you also build more lean muscle mass. As we are aging, we tend to lose muscle mass, especially if we're not actively engaging in activities that require of us to maintain that muscle mass. On top of that, you're also going to maintain, if not increase, your bone density. Having strong bones is really important, and I bet you didn't know that when you start engaging in strength training, you also get heavier because your bones are getting denser. On top of these spectacular reasons I just gave you to prioritize strength training, I'm going to mention that at the end of every single strength training session, you do benefit from endorphins and all of these substances that make you feel ever so good. There's not only strength gains, but there's also mental health gains that come from strength training. Now, engaging throughout the course of your life in strength training doesn't necessarily mean that you need to spend 3 hours a day, 5-6 times a week at the gym, missing out on life, on memories, or giving up on your career. No. That's exactly the opposite of how I want you to see strength training and exercising. Strength training is something you can engage in 2 to 4 times weekly, 45 to 60 minutes. That's all you need to reap the benefits, the amazing benefits that I just mentioned. And overall, if you stick to twice a week, 3 times a week, let's say even 4 times a week, if that's your jam, 45 to 60, maybe 75 minutes, over the course of 10 to 20 years, you're going to reap so many more benefits compared to going all out and doing 2 a days and I don't know what crazy type of stuff for a month, 2 or 3 until you burn out and you give up. Don't do it like that. You want to keep it sustainable and enjoyable. Habit number 2 is to prioritize whole sources of food. Now, by prioritizing whole sources of food such as fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and everything that's rich in essential nutrients, vitamins, and minerals, you are reaching optimal health. When you consume food items that have been minimally processed and you can literally see what you're eating, you are benefiting from their natural fiber content, from the antioxidants that they contain, and many other beneficial compounds. Now, that doesn't mean that you should never consume any processed foods, but it does mean that you want to make sure you can literally count maybe on one hand. Now I'm making a Peru, you can make Peru for yourself, how many processed items you're having in your day-to-day life. I'll give an example with me, and I like keeping it realistic with myself and everybody else. When I eat processed foods, it's normally around my physical activities. So my favorite pre-workout is a bowl of cereal. I don't eat cereal any other time of the day, but I do eat it before my workout. I do have a fun weekly outside meal, sometimes 2, depending on where I am in my fitness journey. So I do consume processed foods, but I do make sure that everything that I'm consuming at home or when I go out, if I happen to go out more often than once or twice, is whole sources of food that are giving my body all the nutrients it needs so it can thrive and it can receive everything that helps me recover, that helps me function throughout the day, that helps me be a better version of myself. Number 3 is prioritizing the time to plan ahead. Now, prioritizing time in your schedule, even if it's 15 to 20 minutes, to sit down and plan ahead how are you going to tackle the rest of your week, month, several days, however you want to map it out, is essential to maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So by scheduling your workouts, by scheduling your groceries, your rest days, very crucial. Too many people tend to fail scheduling their rest days. You create a structure, you create a routine, and it's a lot easier for you to stay on track with your routine and minimize the temptation to go for some unhealthy choices, especially by making sure that you have groceries in the house, making sure that you either fully meal prep or you ever so gently and superficially meal prep. What I mean by that is maybe you can just slice up some veggies and marinate some protein so that you know at home you can quickly throw a meal together rather than resorting to very expensive food delivery or stopping by a fast food place and giving your body things that it potentially doesn't quite need. By scheduling your rest days, you're making sure that you actually allow yourself to rest. You allow your body to take some time off. You're preventing burnout and potentially even injuries. So normally people who plan ahead tend to have a lot more discipline and are a lot more consistent in their routine because it's easier to plan for success and it's far easier to fail when you haven't planned. I'm sure you've heard something along those lines. For example, in my life currently, I schedule my workouts for Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I also make sure that I order my groceries every couple of weeks, if not 3 weeks. I try to avoid going into the grocery store unless I need to do it for you guys because I'm creating some content. I make sure that I meal prep at the end of a work day. Am I tired at the end of the work day? Absolutely yes. But I've understood over time and by making mistakes and listening to my mental health and my physical health that I would rather spend an hour and a half meal prepping at the end of a work day as opposed to using one of my rest days because they're very little and they're very much so cherished and appreciated, meal prepping or doing whatever it is in the kitchen. So plan ahead and you shall succeed. Habit number 4, prioritize your sleeping routine. By prioritizing your sleeping routine and sleep quality, you're making sure that you regulate the production of vital hormones like leptin and ghrelin that regulate hunger and appetite. They reduce your cravings, and at this point, you are more likely to stay on your meal plan that you planned ahead from the previous point, right? Actually, all of the previous points. Now, quality sleep also supports muscle growth, recovery from your workouts. It's essential for maintaining your metabolism, burning fat efficiently, lots of different reasons. And I know that nowadays a lot of us struggle with good quality sleep for various reasons. A lot of us struggle with quality sleep because we tend to be on our technology up until too late, because we are way too stressed out, burned out from life, from work. It's very important that you find the time to figure out what works for you to actually sleep properly and get however much sleep you need. On average, men tend to need less sleep than women. It has been proven by science that we ladies need more sleep, so we don't need to feel bad about that. Try your best, figure out what works for you in this moment of life, rather than being set on staying with the same sleep routine you had a while ago that currently is not working for you. Sleep good, eat good, train good, everything's going to be good. Habit number 5 is prioritizing movement outside of training. Now, one thing that was a game changer for me back in the day before I became a fitness professional was reading an article or listening to a podcast. Somebody somewhere mentioned the following: People who tend to engage in training, exercising at the gym frequently are among some of the most sedentary people out there. Now, is that quite true? No, but did it make me think harder on how active am I outside of the gym? Absolutely yes. At the time, I didn't have little Charlie and I wasn't quite focused on walking or doing anything. I felt so accomplished. I made it to the gym, I busted my butt for like 60 minutes. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna rest, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna sit down again, I'm gonna lay down again, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Now, for me, it was a major game changer the moment I realized that truly, outside of my training sessions, I wasn't that active. So it will be great for you to focus on what can you do that's enjoyable for you, that decreases your stress levels outside of training sessions. Be that walking, be that cycling, be that playing ping pong with your friends, be that playing anything and everything that requires of you to actually physically move your body. For me, I walk Charlie regularly, and whenever I can't walk him for too long because it's too hot or it's too cold, you are going to find me walking on my pad inside my house so that I can make sure I get enough movement in. In most cases, when I tend to feel not good and kind of like sleepy, I can't focus, experiencing mental fog, and I'm not on prep, so I'm not dieting, it's because I do need to move my body. So finding out what works for you in terms of activity, what's doable and enjoyable, is definitely going to make sure that you burn more calories, you move your body, you reduce your stress, and you just enjoy your life. You live it in an active way. That doesn't mean you're on your phone 24/7 like this. Get off the phone, get off the technology, enjoy some real life. Now guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you need any help making any of these habits part of your life or reducing the stress from having to figure out how to do that, please head over to the description box in this video, click my link, let's schedule that consultation, let's chat and see how can you become the better, leaner version of yourself. And I'll see you in the next video.